Dear students, today we will discuss all about paintings. Painting is the practice of applying paint, pigment, color or other medium to a surface. Support base. The medium is commonly applied to the base with a brush, but other implements, such as knives, sponges, and airbrushes, can be used. Paintings may have for their support such surfaces as walls, paper, canvas, wood, glass, lacquer, clay, leaf, copper or concrete, and may incorporate multiple other materials including sand, clay, paper, gold leaf as well as objects. In art, the term painting describes both the act and the result of the action. However, the term is also used outside of art as a common trade among craftsmen and builders. Elements of painting. A. Intensity. What enables painting is the perception and representation of intensity. Every point in space has different intensity, which can be represented in painting by black and white and all the gray shades between. In practice, painters can articulate shapes by juxtaposing surfaces of different intensity. By using just color of the same intensity, one can only represent symbolic shapes. Every canvas is a journey all its own. Color and tone are the essence of painting, as pitch and rhythm are of music. Color is highly subjective, but has observable psychological effects, although these can differ from one culture to the next. Black is associated with mourning in the West, but in the East, white is. The use of language is only an abstraction for a color equivalent. modern artists have extended the practice of painting considerably to include, for example, collage, which began with cubism and is not painting in a strict sense. Some modern painters incorporate different materials such as sand, cement, straw or wood for their texture. There is a growing community of artists who use computers to paint color onto a digital canvas using programs such as Adobe Photoshop, Corel Painter, and many others. These images can be printed onto traditional canvas if required. Rhythm is important in painting as well as in music. If one defines rhythm as a pause incorporated into a sequence, then there can be rhythm in paintings. These pauses allow creative force to intervene and add new creations: form, melody, coloration. The distribution of form, or any kind of information, is of crucial importance in the given work of art, and it directly affects the aesthetical value of that work. This is because the aesthetical value is functionality dependent, that is, the freedom of movement, of perception is perceived as beauty. Free flow of energy, in art as well as in other forms of tech, directly contributes to the aesthetical value. The oldest known paintings are at the Grotte Chauvet in France, which some historians believe are about 32,000 years old. They are engraved and painted using red ochre and black pigment and show horses, rhinoceros, lions, buffalo, mammoth, abstract designs and what are possibly partial human figures. However, the earliest evidence of the act of painting has been discovered in 2 rock shelters in Arnhem Land, in northern Australia. Oil painting is the process of painting with pigments that are bound with a medium of drying oil, especially in early modern Europe. Linseed oil. Often an oil such as linseed was boiled with a resin such as pine resin or even frankincense. These were called varnishes and were prized for their body and gloss. Pastel is a painting medium in the form of a stick, consisting of pure powdered pigment and a binder. The pigments used in pastels are the same as those used to produce all colored art media, including oil paints. The binder is of a neutral hue and low saturation. The color effect of pastels is closer to the natural dry pigments than that of any other process. A Acrylic paint is fast-drying paint containing pigment suspension in acrylic polymer emulsion. Acrylic paints can be diluted with water, but become water-resistant when dry. Depending on how much the paint is diluted with water, or modified with acrylic gels, media, or pastes, the finished acrylic painting can resemble a watercolor or an oil painting, or have its own unique characteristics not attainable with other media. Watercolor is a painting method in which the paints are made of pigments suspended in a water-soluble vehicle. The traditional and most common support for watercolor paintings is paper. Other supports include papyrus, bark papers, plastics, vellum or leather, fabric, wood and canvas. In East Asia, watercolor painting with inks is referred to as brush painting or scroll painting. Ink paintings are done with a liquid that contains pigments and/or dyes and is used to color a surface to produce an image, text, or design. Ink is used for drawing with a pen, brush, or quill. Ink can be a complex medium, composed of solvents, pigments, dyes, resins, lubricants, solubilizers, surfactants, particulate matter, fluorescers, and other materials. Encaustic painting, also known as hot wax painting, involves using heated beeswax to which colored pigments are added. The liquid paste is then applied to a surface, usually prepared wood, though canvas and other materials are often used. The simplest encaustic mixture can be made from adding pigments to beeswax, but there are several other recipes that can be used, some containing other types of waxes, linseed oil, or other ingredients. Fresco is any of several related mural painting types, done on plaster on walls or ceilings. The word fresco comes from the Italian word affresco, which derives from the Latin word for fresh. Which is a water-based paint consisting of pigment and other materials designed to be used in an opaque painting method. Which differs from watercolor in that the particles are larger, the ratio of pigment to water is much higher, and an additional, inert, white pigment such as chalk is also present. Enamels are made by painting a substrate, typically metal, with frit, a type of powdered glass. Minerals called color oxides provide coloration. After firing at a temperature of 750 to 850 degrees Celsius (1380 to 1560 degrees Fahrenheit), the result is a fused lamination of glass and metal. Aerosol paint, also called spray paint, is a type of paint that comes in a sealed pressurized container and is released in a fine spray mist when depressing a valve button. A form of spray painting, aerosol paint leaves a smooth, evenly coated surface. Standard-sized cans are portable, inexpensive and easy to store. Aerosol primer can be applied directly to bare metal and many plastics. Tempera, also known as egg tempera, is a permanent, fast-drying painting medium consisting of colored pigment mixed with a water-soluble binder medium, usually a glutinous material such as egg yolk or some other size. Tempera also refers to the paintings done in this medium. Tempera paintings are very long-lasting, and examples from the first centuries still exist. Egg tempera was a primary method of painting until after 1500, when it was superseded by the invention of oil painting. Abstract art. Abstract art refers to a style of painting that does not use figurative reality as a reference. Instead, the artist alludes to his or her subject and reduces it to a simplified form. Colors and shapes are used to portray emotions and the landscape of one's inner world. Listed below are the various kinds of abstract art styles that have emerged. Vasily Kandinsky. 2. Surrealism. Surrealism is a modern painting style that juxtaposes various images together to give a startling effect. The images in these paintings are often illogical and have a dreamlike quality about them. Surrealist paintings emphasize the subconscious. Among the popular surrealist painters are Salvador Dali, Max Ernst, Valentin Hugo, Joan Miró, and Toyin. Picture The Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali. Conceptual art. Conceptual art is a modern art style where the artist believes that concept is more important than artwork itself. Many conceptual artists believe that while they conceive the work, it is completed by the viewer. In fact, many types of conceptual art are only a set of instructions. It is rare to find this type of art to just be a painting, as it often incorporates elements of sculpture and installation. Marcel Duchamp, Yoko Ono, Yves Klein, and Robert Rauschenberg are some of the famous conceptual artists. Pop art paintings occurred as a reaction to abstract expressionism, which mid-1950s British artists believed was art that was far removed from daily life. Pop art revolved around mundane subjects like comic books, advertising, celebrities, and other objects found in the everyday. It was a return to realism and representation in art. Prominent artists in this field include Jasper Johns, Andy Warhol, Tom Wesselman, and Wayne Borde, among others. Five. Photorealism. Realism. From the name itself, a photorealist painting is one that looks as realistic as a photograph. This is done by taking a picture of the subject and then painting it. Photorealism is an art movement influenced by pop art, and it ran counter as a reaction to abstract expressionism. 6. Minimalism. Minimalism is an art movement that is, as expected, characterized by simplicity. Minimalist paintings strip down the subject to its very essence. Instead of energy-filled self-expression, as is the hallmark of abstract expressionism, minimalist art, on the other hand, paints only what the artist believes is necessary. Seven. Futurism. Futurism is a painting style that concerns itself with subjects like the technology, speed, violence, and the future of the world. It concerns itself with the depiction of man's triumph over nature. This movement rejects the establishment and praises originality. 8. Impressionism. Impressionism is one of the earliest modern painting styles that originated in Paris, France. It is characterized by thin brush strokes and an emphasis on the depiction of light. Impressionist artists often painted outdoors to capture sunlight and color of their subjects. In the 1870s, Impressionist paintings were considered radical because they did not paint according to the rules. Famous Impressionist painters include Claude Monet, Pierre Auguste Renoir, Camille Pissarro, and Armand Guillot.